What is going on, Movie Meals? Movie Meals, hey. Red October, baby. Here in Philadelphia. Let's go Phillies today. Take down the Mets. You know, I got my boy Bryson with me here. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready.
When did I blink and you got into baseball?
Since I moved.
So much memorabilia. That's baseball themed.
Let's go Phillies. Let's go Phillies. Come on. You know we got the fanatic on the hat.
Are you seeing a game today? Is there a game happening?
Yeah, first game of the playoffs for the Phillies, baby.
Oh, okay. Well, congrats. Had no idea.
It's a Red October.
Oh, I had no idea. We don't know that over here in Montana.
You know, people know. People know.
Oh, yeah. Did not tell me.
I'm a fan of baseball when I'm at the games.
That's the right way to do it. Yeah. Yeah.
Easy,
you can't
easy
be
to adopt.
on TV.
We got the bobblehead when we went to a baseball game a couple months ago, in like June.
How much was that? Like $50?
Free. They were
Free?
handing them out. Yeah.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, you obviously take the bobblehead.
Yep. Always.
Yeah.
We're here. We're back. We always come back.
People get so worried, and by people I mean
They
no
do.
one.
I've been sick. That has not helped. I got another sinus infection. School year has started, so apologize for the coughing. For the drinking. With the drinking of water. And hopefully a cocoa. When it gets delivered. Thank you, Moo Meal patrons, Kimberly, Karen. Thank you to all of those who are helping out. You can help us get to 2,000. We don't post enough, so we're losing subscribers by the day.
No.
But hey,
We always
we're
come
at
back.
October, so can't be that bad. Seeing the Eagles play on next Sunday, hyped. But yeah, let's. Kyle and I got a lot to talk about. A couple of quick snack time, bite-sized movie reviews here. I'm gonna go first. I saw Megalopolis. Boy, what a thing that Megalopolis is.
Okay, I like it.
Whole lot of stuff in that movie. No, it is not good. It is not good, but I did not dislike it. I appreciated Francis making his passion project. There were scenes that I was like, oh man, I love this. This is incredible. This is ambitious. This is different. This looks great. This is acted great. It's directed great. And then there are scenes where the CGI makes bad Marvel look good. There are scenes where the acting is atrocious, where the directing is atrocious. Having big ideas does not mean that something is good. It just, I love Francis. I'm glad he made his passion project. It just didn't stick the landing, man. For at least for me at the end of the day. I mean, it's really just a bleh movie. I gave it 2.5 out of 5 on Letterbox. Just put it right smack dab in the middle because there are some things to like. I've seen reviews of people saying like, this movie's not good, but I've never seen anything like it, so I enjoyed it. And it's like that's not a what? You've never seen anything like anything. That's such a cop-out answer. That makes no sense. I've never seen anything like Fast and Furious 28. I've never seen anything like it because it's something I've never seen before. It's a new movie. That argument doesn't stand.
Okay.
What? That argument is some of the most atrocious arguments I've ever heard in my life. But I saw some people praising it. You know, my brother really liked it. He can be a whack nut though. It's okay. You know, I do if you have any interest, I think you should go see it. I don't regret seeing it in the theater. I mean, the movie needed more Aubrey Plaza. Aubrey Plaza is the only thing that is a shining beacon in the movie. Everybody, in a way, kind of plays their own characters in their own movies within this movie, and Aubrey's was the only movie I really fully enjoyed the whole time. There are bits that are meant to be funny that are just like, it's like, I'm not laughing, Francis. You should have dropped this joke. Stop bringing it back up. But anyway, yeah, there were some scenes that I was like, man, I want this. I want this for the next 2 hours. I don't want the next scene or the scene before. I want this scene to continue. And it's just a bummer that it didn't end up being as incredible as it could have been. So
Yeah.
yeah, but good on Francis finally getting. Ooh, good on Francis getting it finally made. I got my cocoa was delivered in my little baby Yoda mug, my little Grogu mug.
I
So
just
Kyle,
never.
you take the reins.
Oh, well, I was just gonna add on that I'm still stoked to see that movie. I'm gonna see it tonight. Because
And I'm sure you'll love it because Kyle's stoked. He's stoked, so he's gonna love it because Al doesn't like it.
It'll be something I've never seen before. I have to like it. I
can find videos on the internet I'm guaranteed you've never seen before that you probably won't like.
Well,
but by that argument, you're gonna have to like it.
It'll be something I've never seen before. You know? I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I'm probably, who knows how I'll feel about it, but I just need to see a Coppola movie in the theater for once, and, you know, if it has to be this one, so be it.
I've seen a lot of tweets saying, because we'll transition here to Joker 2, which I haven't seen yet, but Kyla's seen, which apparently is also, like, is really bad. I've seen a lot of tweets that's like, man, Joker 2 really made me appreciate and like Megalopolis quite a bit more. And it's like, oh, well, Kyle probably went the right direction. He went and saw the worst of the two first. So he's probably going to walk out with a better feeling. And I didn't walk out like, with like I just walked out kind of like I got to think about some things, and I thought about some scenes, and, it's just an okay, I mean, it's just me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, what is your thoughts on Joker 2?
Yeah, I did not find it particularly good. The first Joker movie I did like, even though I thought that there was some obvious problems with the movie, but over time, it just hasn't stuck around with me, and I just have grown to like it less and less and just see more of the issues that the first movie had. And I think in this second movie, the same issues are there, but it just is more evident this time. I think that it has some good intentions and some good themes around it, but it just doesn't have the best through line, and it just feels a bit too scattered for those themes to be explored a bit better or a bit more coherently. Themes such as, like, talking about mental illness, and especially in this movie, like the unfortunate sensationalism that could come from someone having mental illness of some kind is very evident and is warranted, but again, it just feels like it's getting lost in like what it's trying to explore and explain in this movie. And I guess for more of the positive side, I liked Joaquin Phoenix still in this role, and Lady Gaga was phenomenal opposite of him. Like them doing just, working off of each other on top of like the musical numbers too, was just some of the better stuff in this movie. And the musical numbers, which I should add on to this, we kind of have to eat crow on thinking like it wasn't actually going to be a musical, because there was more than like one or two musical numbers that we were guessing upon. Although half of them are like,
I've heard it's a legit musical, like a legit musical, and not like in their heads with some scenes of music happening and them dancing, like not just like, how we had described it, where like murder be going on and they would be singing and dancing or something, kind of as things, but it's like a full-on musical. Is that right?
Yeah, but I would say that half of the musical numbers are playing in his head. I don't think that they are set in the real world. At least half of them are, but
and I'm not even grow.
But even still, like, there was more numbers, at least for me, than I was anticipating. So I have to give them credit for doing that and for going for it. And I did think like the choreography within those musical numbers were pretty good. And same with the cinematography. The cinematography is just as gorgeous as it was in the first movie. But again, I think it just loses track of what it's trying to say. Autumn thinks differently. Anyway, yeah, Joker 2, just like the first one, really gets lost in like what it's trying to say thematically. And I think the third act is, I've just been hearing a lot of complaints about the third act, so I'll just add my 2 cents on it. I don't think that it's like a bait and switch thing. I don't think it's bad how they ended the movie, but at the same time, it is also just so abrupt and not revealed very well. if that makes sense, without giving anything away, that I just think it falls flat on what it's trying to execute rather than having like a real gut punch that it's meant to have. So yeah, and the movie also tries to do this weird thing of telling the audience that it was a bad thing to like the first Joker movie, which if they're trying to think like the people who liked the first Joker movie are only incels, then sure, I kind of get it, but I really think that's a small amount of people liking the Joker
$1
for
billion.
wrong reasons. Yeah, exactly. Like casual audiences did like Joker, but not for like the wrong reasons. I do think casual audiences did see like what the first Joker movie was trying to do. But this second movie kind of feels like thematically it's trying to do it in like a thematic way, but instead it feels like it's wagging the finger towards the audience of saying like, how you shouldn't have liked Joker, you're a bad person for liking Joker, the first Joker movie, or you missed the point of the first Joker movie to begin with. And again, just execution wise, it doesn't work the way it's supposed to. It feels like it's talking down to the audience rather than actually exploring more of like the themes that they already struggled trying to explore in the first movie to begin with. So
I don't know if this is true because I just briefly saw it and I don't remember what the site was, but I saw something that said that Warner Brothers didn't test screen the movie. That they just made it, assumed it would make a bill, and then threw it out there. And that's idiotic. Why aren't we test screening? Why aren't we test screening movies? Also, I don't think it was under notes. We should talk about this Marvel fan group thing here in a minute.
Oh, sure. I haven't looked into that.
Yeah. But real quick, Kyle, what'd you think of Substance? I really wanted to see it. They were only showing times during the week here. Every theater known to man around here. I got 800 to choose from, and the only times were like at 1 p.m. on a Tuesday. It's like, my guy, I have a job. I can't just leave my job.
Yeah, that really blows, because this movie, I think, was excellent. I think it... I don't know, it gets your adrenaline pumping, and not just in terms of the body horror elements of it, but just in terms of like its pacing and it being kind of a erotic thriller of sorts in some ways. But within those types of genres with this movie, it's also exploring like many themes such as like ageism, toxic, the toxicity like that can happen towards like your body image, and themes of like women kind of being discriminated within the industries that they work in, whether they're of any age, young or old. And I think the movie just does a great job of having so much throwing at the wall, but yet it's just very coherent and it's very evident on like the themes that it's hitting on, and it's hitting on those in a very impactful and powerful way. Yet at the same time, it's playful with the tone of the movie that it's going for. And I just had a really excellent time with it. It just was a blast. Demi Moore is great. Marco Qualley is also great, opposite of her. And just the idea, just the whole plot of like the story, like how the substance works and like how our main character uses it for good and for bad intentions, is just some very strong stuff and keeps you on the edge of your seat. I do wish that the final act of the movie wasn't stretched as long as it was. It felt like it was kind of losing sight of itself and trying to figure out a way to have like an ending that really lands with a great big ta-da, but instead it kind of just gets lost in choosing when that happens. So I found the runtime to be a bit odd because the themes are done so evidently and with such a big impact that I feel like the runtime was not needed to be as long as it was. I felt like we were getting to the point very well due to some good editing and good direction that was there to begin with. But there were points where the movie just kind of felt like it kept going on a bit too much, when I think if trimmed down just right, it just would have stuck the landing a bit better and it would have made for a shorter runtime. Movies pace fine, but in parts you can feel it. But otherwise, I still would strongly recommend it because this movie just is a blast to watch, but it also just hits on a theme super well.
So this guy Kyle sends me notes, and if Kyle's got no interest in a movie, he doesn't say, Al, you should review it, but I'm going to review it anyway. So here's the Wild Robot review that Kyle didn't go see, but I saw.
Sorry,
here we go. Kyle was like, I don't want to see it. Animation's now for kids. Post-COVID Kyle hates everything. Wild Robot is excellent, and it might be the best animated movie of the year. It's the best animation since The Boy and the Heron. It is phenomenal. It is breathtaking. They have talked at lengths that they were inspired by Miyazaki. They wanted it to feel more like a painting than it was than just the basic 3D animation, and it is brilliant. Lupita Nyong'o was excellent. Pedro Pascal. This movie was awesome. It was awesome.
Wow.
It blew me away by how good it was. It made me I just, you're on the edge of your seat. It does lose you a little bit in the third act. The third act does kind of stretch, kind of like what Kyle was saying here with Substance, kind of stretches out a little bit. They're trying to tackle a lot in the third act. But to me, it stuck the landing. I legitimately, Inside Out 2 was brilliant. Boy and the Heron was brilliant. But this movie, I seriously think might be the best animated movie of the year. I thought it was just incredible. Its story was kind of Iron Giant-esque, but kind of taking that idea and flipping it in a way, and it just worked. The themes underneath were awesome. It definitely one of, if not the best animated movie of the year. It's an excellent, excellent movie, and I'm glad to see it's been making some money and having some success, because it's really good.
Yeah, it seems like it's really having a pop for sure. I like what you said about the movie feeling like it's a painting come to life, because based on the trailers that I was seeing, it did kind of look like watercolors turned into animation.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Maybe a little bit of like the Spider-Verse animation thrown in there too, but I don't know. It still feels like a little different compared to that even. So it does look like a very beautiful movie to watch in terms of animation. That's for sure.
It's a very good movie. It's not just in terms of animation there, pal. It's a good movie.
Well, I just mean like animation wise, like it seems very unique. Yeah.
All right, let's move on here. Apparently
So
Marvel's having focus groups. They've got little groups that you now have to appeal. Your Marvel property has to appeal to those groups, make sure it hits with the fans. And that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. It is idiotic. It is stupid. There is a reason for test screenings. Go test screen. Make sure you got a couple of like Marvel fanboy-esque type people in those test screenings to get some opinion, but you do not want that to be your main focus. The Marvel fanboy, the whole fun of Kevin Feige at first is that he is a Marvel fanboy and he knows what we want. So he creates products that, for a decade were great. And now it's been hit or miss, back and forth. They should not be having these idiotic focus groups. That's how you get Rise of Skywalker. It's how you get idiotic movies that with bad dialogue. And I've seen a lot of people make like fake posters and stuff of what a fan group, Disney fan group would actually come up with. And it was like Ray cooking in the kitchen and like all these things that would be accurate. It would be all the wackos who don't understand these properties and don't understand how movies are actually made, making decisions, and they should have no say in it. It should be filmmakers who understand storytelling, because that is the most important thing. But anyway, thoughts?
I don't understand why studios are suddenly afraid of neckbeards. I don't know how this happened. Like I know where it began. It began with the likes of Justice League and Last Jedi. I remember that very well. I was there at the beginning. But I don't understand how studios are suddenly like worried about these guys. Like I get it. Like you should do some things to avoid toxic fans, such as like protecting your actors and making sure people who work on these movies aren't getting harassed like online or in public. Like try to protect people as much as you can. But in terms of like leaning into them becoming the focus groups and not in terms of
there was no reason to take a shot. You just discriminated against men with neck beards. There was no reason to do that. Not everybody is an incel because they have a neck beard here, pal. What the heck is wrong with you?
You know what I mean.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Oh, here we go.
But apologies to everyone else out there. But people
but
know
not
who
me.
They are. You're included, Al. I'll personally write you a letter. I'll write you a letter of apology.
Anyway, did you?
But like, what are we doing here? Why is the industry suddenly scared of nerds with YouTube accounts. Like, what are we talking about, guys? Like, just ignore them, make the movie, make sure it's for mostly the casual audience because they're the ones spending the money mostly, not the small little section of, diehards out there. It's silly and it's not good for art at all. It's just very sad. So I don't like it either. Hopefully they learn their lesson real quick and lock the door, throw away the key, and not have these people come back into their testing.
Yeah, it's dumb, idiotic. Anyway, what was next on the little note thing? I gotta pull it up.
Do I want to talk about Lanterns update? Well, I'll talk about the Lanterns update. I
literally could not care at all.
I know.
They picked an actor. Fans are like, and I'm like, cool. Don't care.
Yeah, I like Kyle Chandler. That role works. That's fine. Good for him getting the role. So yeah, anyway, we did see an article a few weeks ago saying that movie theaters are investing 2.2 billion into renovating their
this was like all
theaters.
The major chains, like AMC, Cinemark, Regal, upgrading. Upgrading zip lines, baby.
Yeah, not just like their screens or their projectors, but also within like their complexes, like just including some new, features or some new ways to invite people into the theater. And some of the ideas that were thrown out included like pickleball courts and zip lines, which I don't know how much truth into those things specifically that's going to be, but I would imagine like maybe more restaurants and like, shopping type stuff would be included in there.
Well, I mean, that's just a movie theater in a mall. I already have those.
Yeah, exactly.
And those are dying.
In a funny way, like it is bringing back the idea of a mall. Kind of like the same with streaming, kind of just reinventing and becoming TV again. Just things work in circles like that. But this is good though. This is good that theaters are getting the money from somewhere and, doing necessary renovations because the age on them is showing. Like the age of them is showing that they need to do massive upgrades for their tech and their screens. And on top of that, they also need to find ways to fill up their theaters because the spaces are not filling up with audiences as much as they used to be. So instead of having so many screens, you can instead take out a few and put in other features that invites audiences to go into your venue. And maybe on top of that, hopefully check out a movie.
You and I have been talking about this for years, that the movie theaters needed to upgrade in a way. Turning your movie theater into an amusement park is not the right move, right? Everybody's going to just say the same thing of what they actually should do, and that's just lower the cost to go to the movies. And I think when you look at that argument, the argument actually is lower the cost of everything. Everything is expensive right now, right? So you have to pick and choose as yourself what is the thing you want to do. If you love the movies, look into these AMC, Stubs programs. Like I get 3 free tickets a week paying monthly. So it's worth it. It's a great deal. Like Megalopolis was free when I saw it because I had already had my ticket. But
good movie choice for it.
But I don't think massive amusement park upgrades is the right way to go with this money. I think what's made them so successful for so long has been the event of coming together to all have a shared experience. And I think that's what they should be doing. Have horror nights. Invite fans to come watch the re-release of Saw and dress up. And if you're worried because of, shootings that have happened in the past, like in, the tragedy at Aurora and things like that, and you're nervous, then take some of that $2 billion and buff up your security, add some jobs, like do that, pay your workers a little bit more to keep those theaters actually clean. Some theaters we go to, oh my gosh, they're atrocious because the theater people working there don't actually care. Some theaters I go to, great. But, like do things like that. Have a night where you can, invite local game shops to come play old school games, stream things, and they've been trying that. There's been theaters that stream Super Bowls or big episodes of television or, big moments on TV or big TV
Yeah.
episodes, and those are
There are
great. But like,
some, yeah, there are
have
some out there that are trying those alternative ways of making money for sure.
yeah, but like, I
These
think turning
chains, I
it a
don't think
little bit
are.
more into into an amusement park is the wrong move. I think turning it more
Yeah.
into a convention center is a better move. Turn it
Yeah.
into something that you can actually like create something fun. If you got a big anime movie, have a big anime event with the movie. Not only are you going to see this new movie that, fans are going to come out to, but have a cosplay competition before you see the movie or after you see the movie for the best character dressed as that person. The My Hero Academia movie's coming out in a week. Like, just something like that. That brings in people to me. That makes it a shared event to the movies. It doesn't, I don't want to, go to the movies and then debate, am I going to go ziplining? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, I could understand pickleball courts. Those are smaller, they're more contained. It's a little bit more of like, we've got other things to do here. But
Sure.
I mean, are you going to become a pickleball? You're going to have pickleball tournaments and then go check out challengers? Like, is that
Hell yeah.
like what are we doing here? But pickleball's not tennis. You know what I mean? Like
No.
I think having more events like that, more throwbacks, and advertise them. Like they advertise them in front of their movies, which is great.
Mhm.
But I don't see advertisements very often for those things outside of that. And
For
I
sure.
think they should. And when there are big sporting events, have viewing days, not just the Super Bowl, right? If local theaters here in Philly said, "Hey, we're gonna stream the Phillies game today, $10 a person, BYOB, get some hot dogs and some popcorn and hang out," oh, that'd sell out. It would sell out. It would be a huge deal, and especially in these major cities that live and die sports. So, the stadiums do it when they're away. They do viewing events where you can buy a ticket, sit in the stadium outside, and watch the TV and watch the game with people because it's a community event, and that's what people I think that's what we're forgetting that the movies are. It's a community event. It's a concert. I mean, it's come together to have a shared experience. And if you turn it into an amusement park, it's going to just be a bunch of people all over the place doing their own thing. And that's, I don't think, what the movie theater is at all. Take some of that money and rip down one of your theaters, put up a screen outside, open up a bigger parking lot, and have one theater a week to be a drive-in. That's a cool idea. Like, what are we talking about here? What is this? AMC? Bring me into the focus group. I'll help you. I'll help you. I got ideas. I'm an idea man. Come on.
He does have the better ideas, that's for sure.
Come on.
I'll vouch for him. Yeah, I don't like the theme park ideas either in terms of like zip lines and all that, or like a ball pit or something. I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
In the middle of your movie.
I don't know if it will exactly come to that. That just might be a bit of an exaggeration, or maybe like an idea someone had on a big list or whatever. But I do think it is wise to adjust what additional things you can bring into your venue. If you have to take out a few screening rooms and bring in like a stage area for comedy shows or for live performances, do that. Or if you can find a way to partner with like local business or like a chain or something to have like an area for eating, not just like concession food, but also just like restaurant type food, do that as well.
Create an area where after the movie, it's like, hey, you just watched this movie. Let's, we've partnered with Red Chili's.
Robin.
Yeah, Red Robin.
Yeah.
And they've got some discounted food, hang out, meet new people, talk about the movie you just watched. Like, that is a community event that I think people would actually enjoy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
It probably would help with convenience for the audience who, is thinking about, okay, do I want to spend money on dinner or do I want to spend money on a movie ticket? Like maybe if they see that both places are in the same area, that would warrant them to go the extra mile to spend money. And when I say like take out some spare theater rooms, I'm not saying that because like I want there to be less movies, but the fact is that there already are less movies. Like thanks to streaming, there is like a big divergence in the amount of movies going to theaters versus going onto streaming, because now studios are handling both things. They're handling where movies going to two places instead of one. So if there's going to be, practically empty screening rooms at these big multiplexes, that aren't like bringing in the dollars, why not find an alternative way to be able to possibly get more money rather than seeing just an empty screening room that's playing something that audiences aren't going to see. So that's unfortunate. I don't like saying that, but that's just the reality that we're facing, and I think that's going to help.
I do too. All right, let's move on to the final topic. Kyle and I are going to do a top 5 draft battle royale here. Well, it's not Kyle versus me. It's Kyle versus myself and Bryson Scott. So
we're screwed.
Kyle suggested let's rank some Spielberg movies, and I said let's make it a competition because I want to kick your keister here, pal. So we're we need to flip a coin. I don't have a coin near. You got a coin near?
Yes, I do. One sec.
We're gonna flip a coin to see who goes first. We'll go back and forth, drafting Spielberg movies, and then we want you guys to rank who had the better picks. Who wins? Who will win?
Wins and who dies?
Yep, the loser does die in a tragic zip lining at the movie theater accident during a showing of Godzilla versus Pong. Godzilla versus Pong. It's Godzilla versus the ping pong champion of the world.
Sure. All right, I got the coin.
I'll take heads. I'll take heads, baby. Give me heads for my bobblehead, Bryson Scott.
We got tails.
No! Bryson, you let me down. All right, Kyle. Go ahead. What are you taking first? You got to be smart here. Well-rounded Spielberg team. Come on now. What are you taking?
I can't help myself. I got to take possibly my favorite Spielberg movie, Jurassic Park. I got to take that first.
Okay.
It might bite me in the butt. Because I think you're going to pick more of a heavyweight.
I'm taking Jaws!
Yeah.
Now look here. I think these are similar. I've got horror. I've got thriller. All wrapped into one movie. I've got the movie that changed cinema as we know it and brought today the modern blockbuster. Are you kidding me? Now, Jurassic Park and Jaws, first. I think, are pretty equal. Pretty equal battles. You could go either way here. So I think pretty even keel. Okay.
Quality-wise. Yeah.
All right. Back quality-wise.
Well, yeah.
They're both horror, thriller, style, action, adventure, but I've got a scene on a boat that rivals anything you've got, even Jeff Goldblum shirtless.
Damn, I was really going for the shirtless thing.
Yeah, you're not even the biggest fan of Jeff Goldblum being sexy, so you don't even really have, you don't even trust your own movie. What are you picking next?
Some directions I can go with here. Drama or another flick? That's the question.
He's debating. Do I take Schindler's List or do I take the BFG?
It's a tough BFG decision. Is there for the taking.
It's a tough decision.
I'll take the easy one and go with Schindler's List.
Wow. Were you actually debating that, or did you think it didn't exist anymore until I brought it back up to you?
No, it was like between 3 of those. It was between that and 2 others.
Well, if he's going hard-hitting drama, I've got to hit him back with a hard-hitting drama. I'm playing on the defense. So I'm going to take arguably the greatest war film of all time. Give me Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, that one was that was also like in the battle for me.
Was that one of the 3?
Yes, it was.
Thank God.
But yeah, just the first 20 minutes of Private Ryan are obviously just
I win.
Incredible stuff too. Schindler's List, I went for a personal touch of Spielberg, coming from a place that he really wanted to talk about in terms of his own growing up, in terms of his own religion. So that's why I chose.
I think Schindler's List. I think I'm gonna be honest. I think I take the edge with Jaws, but I think you take the edge with Schindler's List. I think we're pretty even keel here, okay, but I think it's close. Like it's close.
I like that.
Go Phils.
This isn't going to be necessarily my favorite.
Take the ooh back. Take the ooh and take it back.
This
I
isn't
don't like it
necessarily
when
my
you-
favorite, but I'm going to take Indiana Jones and Last Crusade.
Oh man, it's a good pick. Does Al
I
go
always-
Indiana Jones just to freak him out here, just to keep on an even pace? Well, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were continuing. I was just gonna say that I always go back and forth between Raiders or Last Crusade being my favorite. Like they're just so
Yeah,
even
Temple
to
of
me.
Doom.
But I mean, Temple of Doom. Sometimes on a weird Tuesday, maybe Temple of Doom. You never know.
I'm not going to go with Indy yet, since Kyle snagged an Indy. I think I'm going to try to take something different, and I'm going to take arguably his best movie, and I'm going to take Catch Me If You Can. I want something for everybody here. I've dabbled into horror. I've dabbled into war. I'm snagging Catch Me If You Can.
I like that pick.
Thank you. It's a phenomenal pick.
I was hoping maybe you wouldn't take it yet. I could get in like the next pick or the fifth pick, but no, I can't deny that one's pretty good.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you. Hey, when you guys vote for who has the best picks, you got to think of it in terms of you got 5 nights, 5 Spielberg movies. You have to watch either Kyle's list or my list. Which ones are you taking? So we got to be thinking here about everybody here. I got a little something for everybody. A little horror, a little war, a little good little fun time. Go ahead, Kyle. What's number 4?
You know, I'm just mentioning Fablemans, but I'm not saying Fablemans. But after seeing Fablemans, I'm not picking Fablemans. I'm not picking.
Wow.
No, Alex, my turn. But I am thinking about Fablemans and just how much of Spielberg's previous movies and how much of like what he was saying about his life, I realized were thrown into his previous movies after watching Fablemans, and one of them in particular was Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So I have like a big appreciation for that one specifically. So that's going to be my pick. Close Encounters.
Great choice.
Yeah. And in the 4th round too, I feel good about that one.
I was thinking about it, but I'm playing on the defense here. So I'm going to go with the other. Family Alien, let's go E.T., baby.
Yeah.
E.T. is great. Hey, it's a family flick. It's a coming-of-age story. You're doomed. I got the best top 5 that ever did top 5. Kyle's got an opportunity, though. You could take 2 Indiana Jones movies. You could take Crystal Skull here.
I could double stack. There's a lot of Alien movies, too, I could double stack, I guess. If you're not thinking of that already.
What are you taking here, Kyle?
Oh, boy.
Come on, take it. Take Hook. Come on.
Take Hook. You know
take
you want
1929 or whatever that movie was he made that wasn't good. 1979, that's what it was.
I think...
Take a swing.
I'm going to choose Munich. I'm going to choose Munich here.
And a swing and a miss. Right, Bryson? Yep, he agrees.
Think so? All right.
Have you ever seen Munich?
No. But I'm thinking
Munich is very good.
I am thinking in terms of like from what I've learned of Spielberg, like that movie was very important to him making, especially during like the early 2000s period. So I'm going based off like that being not necessarily a passion project, but just one that was just of importance for, what himself and possibly what a lot of people were going through during the 2000s. So yeah, I just am going to choose that one.
All right. I got an opportunity here. I could take Indy 1, but I kind of want to take Lincoln because Lincoln is incredible.
Lincoln's very good.
But I do think I'm going to take Indy 1 because I think I just slaughter you if I take it. I think it's not even really a competition other than that's not true. It's tough. But I'm going to take Indiana Jones 1. That's a good Spielberg's version of Bond here, baby. And I'm not making you skip 2 movies.
I'm hoping I can get the edge with Munich, maybe, but I don't know. Indiana Jones, maybe I made the wrong choice here. You never know.
You always make the wrong choice, but all right, a little shorter of an episode, guys. Whose list do you think? Which one are you taking? You got 5 nights, 5 Spielberg movies. You're watching back to back to back to back to back to back to back. So who are you taking? Jaws, Saving Private Ryan, Catch Me If You Can, E.T. and Indiana Jones, number 1 from me, or Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, Indy 3, Close Encounters in Munich from Kyle. Let us know. What we should do is we should be adding a 6th movie, and it's only a movie Spielberg slapped his name on because he wanted a paycheck and didn't direct or anything. And we got to take some bad, like G.I. Joe, Transformers or something.
I was going to say, I'm ready to go for that 6th one if you want.
Well, I'd take Transformers all day. I don't know. Well, I'd have to look at all the movies because he's produced so many. But no, we won't do that.
Yeah, of course. All right.
But, all right, guys. What'd you think? Comment below. Let us know. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. As always, thanks for watching, Mom. We'll see you next time. Oh, that's Kyle's line. My bad. Thanks for watching, Mom.
See you guys.
Go Phils.